pricing so that you can retain more wealth by tapping into wealth energetics. So this is a really cool subject because it's about the pricing that elevates, yourself and your clients, and it's about pulling in that wealth that you can then hold within yourself. So I'm so glad to talk about this. This is, a lot of people have been asking me to make a video on this one. So let me know where you're watching from. Would like to see where you guys are coming from. So put in the comments what country in the world you're at or state if you're in the US. That's great. I'm in Maine, so I'm close to Canada here. And we have lots of snow outside right now. So if you're watching this on a replay, #replay, so I know you've been here. All right, so today we are talking about how to own premium pricing to retain more wealth by tapping into your wealth energetics. Okay, so first of all, let's look at what happens when we don't do that. Okay, one of the main things that is very obvious is that you end up creating this amazing offer, something that you really love and really want to put out there, and somehow it does not sell. So you put the price tag on it that matches the amount of work you put into it, the value that it has, and all that amazing results it's going to create for your clients, but somehow it just does not result in people wanting to purchase it. That is a typical issue that a lot of times coaches run into. This is because energetically, whatever it is that's being put out is either not matched internally, or the offer itself is not matching the frequency that you're trying to attract with it. In other words, whoever is wanting to buy that offer is not getting the information, or you're not describing correctly what it is the offer is about. All right. So the issue with not being able to sell your offer is, of course, that most people backpedal. Most of the coaches, especially in the spiritual industry, especially healers and holistic type of coaches, as soon as they put out something that has a higher price tag, and then for some reason they feel like it doesn't sell, they backpedal. They say, oh, I should lower the price, or oh, it's too much and there are no people that will buy it, or something else like that. And one of the biggest pieces about that is that energetically that particular coach is not holding the worth of who they are, and that's not matching the product or the service or the package that they're putting out into the world. So of course that results in an experience of extreme frustration, and you start feeling guilty for charging higher fees. This is a story I hear so much from the spiritual community. So let's say the ones I'm talking to here, you already successful. So you already have clients, you already knowing that you're good at what you do, you're creating results, you're generating income. But if you are coming out of the spiritual community, chances are there's still that leftover about, oh, but I can't charge that much, or this is like a lot and somehow that this is bad. Which is really weird if you think about it, because money is just a number. So the actual number in itself has no value. We give it value. We give it meaning. So we make our pricing mean something. And depending on the meaning we give it, of course, creates whatever the result we're going to have with that pricing. It's either going to be something we can easily sell, or it's going to be something we can't sell at all. So a lot of the times what I see is that, especially if somebody has not been selling higher ticket offers and they're just starting after selling a lot of sort of a medium level packages, there is fear that shows up in a system, in their energy field, and their container is not big enough to hold the next level of the number that they said is attached to the service or the package. So energetically, if that mismatch is strong and severe and the person does not work on correcting the difference, then the offer will not sell, no matter how amazing it is, right? Because that's actually part of what's so painful sometimes to see when people come to me, and I work with spiritual coaches mostly. So when they come to me, they start from this place of, I did this thing, I created this thing, and it's like this baby they are birthed. out into the world. And it's incredible. Whatever that package is, whatever that service is, whatever the specific expertise that they're bringing is freaking amazing. But whatever that they start like talking about it and then saying how much it is, they either don't hold the price because they feel guilty and ashamed. Well, I shouldn't have to, it's okay, I don't really need to charge that much, so it keeps shrinking. Or there is an entitlement energy there that comes in, which is also from the lower self, and says, well, damn it, I should be able to charge whatever I want, which is actually true. You are able to charge whatever you want as long as you can back it up with your energy and expertise. So that's where the discrepancy is. When we have something that we're putting out and it's awesome, but then I see this person minimizing it and saying, well, it's just this, I just do that, and then the price tag that attached to it is very, very small. And then I start asking, well, how did you end up with this fee for this service? And they said, well, I officially kind of had this price, and the price was like 4 times more, which is probably what the package actually is worth. But then nobody bought it, so I kept, lowering, and then now it's this. And it's like, well, now you're actually disvaluing the very thing that you're trying to put out by not owning the value of it energetically. So that's why this is such a personal thing, because self-worth gets so wrapped up with pricing. So one of the things also I see with the spiritual community is that people tend to overgive. They thinking they're being compassionate. The typical sliding scale, the typical, well, I'll give you some discount, or, well, for this person I'll charge less because they can't afford it, and so on. All those things energetically are incorrect. They are miscreating. What they are doing, they're essentially saying, you're not a leader. They are the leaders. Now you're looking at the mirror, the external world, to tell you what you should be doing. One of the biggest mistakes that coaches make is to try to price their offers based on what other people are pricing their offers in a similar industry or a similar type of work. That is really, really off energetically, because you are a unique being. So whatever you can offer and whoever you already made contract with, that will be the correct person for you to resonate with, who absolutely requires what you're offering. That person has to have the correct number attached to your offer in order to actually be attracted to it. For example, if you want to work with a premium level client, somebody who already is at certain level and you want to help them get further, and then your pricing is really, really low, a premium level client will actually not even look at your offer, no matter how amazing it is, because it will not compute. Why is it so little? That means this coach herself is not owning the value of what she is doing, so how can she help me? So part of the progression moving forward is actually that the pricing grows with your internal ownership of your power, of your expertise, and of how much wealth, energy you can hold within yourself. So it's not compassionate to lower your pricing for some people out of feeling bad for them. That actually means that either these clients are not your clients for this offer. Maybe you have a low ticket offer that they perfectly qualify for, but not for this one. Or they are not in the place in their life when they can utilize what you're bringing through. So if you are resonating on a specific level and your pricing matches that, that creates a pathway for the correct type of a person to come to you, through your marketing or through the quantum field itself. Sometimes it happens like total magic, when it almost feels like, well, I didn't do anything and the person just contacted me. That only happens when you own your higher pricing, when you're able to really hold that premium level within yourself without any wobble. So when we don't feel like we are worth it, and when like, let's say if you notice yourself subconsciously asking this question, like, well, why would they pay so much? There are two problems here. First of all, self-dismissal, and second, so much. That means you already attach the meaning to a specific number. Something that, let's say, might be a lot for you because of your lifestyle might be absolute peanuts for somebody who has a different lifestyle. And vice versa, something that you can consider not so much, other people might consider a really huge number. So it's not there's no some sort of a factual rule about this is a big number, this is a small number. It all depends on whatever level in life the person is and what relationship with wealth they have. So they might be spiritually advanced, but if they have poverty mentality, they would not have wealth. Or they might be spiritually completely not advanced, but they're able to hold material wealth much more securely. So then that person might have more money, even though not that much spiritual development. And what we are looking for within ourselves, right, is to get to the next level of who you are, who like you as a coach are. That means that you grow in that internal leadership. You grow in your capacity to hold higher amount of wealth within yourself as you transform yourself further in spiritual sense. Being an entrepreneur is kind of like going into an ascension school, because we constantly have to up-level who we are. We constantly elevating to the next level of ourselves, and it's not an easy process. A lot of times it's it goes at certain clip, and you just kind of have to keep up with it because the energy keeps going. So your next level of wealth, you're showing up to that next level. It means not just like how much more money you're gonna make, but how much wealth you can hold within your container. What can you hold, right? When the pricing is not matching what we can hold, when there's a wobble, we cannot sell it. So in order to be able to sell something, you need to be sold on your own offer, including your pricing. And that means that you are perfectly aligned, your understanding of the value of what you're bringing and understanding of your own gift to that number. That then creates a correct flow of energy. Okay, so the solution to this experience of feeling like, well, how come I can't sell my offer and there's just no clients, and what if somebody doesn't buy it? And that happens at any level of business, by the way. You could be already in multiple six figures and realizing that you now up level to some sort of a next program level or whatever that you now created, and you're having difficulty selling that. Or it could be a change in the mechanics of your program. Maybe you always worked in groups and now you're choosing one-on-one. Maybe you always did one-on-one, now you're choosing groups, and so on. Whatever format you're doing, anytime we change that, that is a wealth container that has to adjust in order to accommodate the change. So the solution is the wealth energetics of frequency resonance in the quantum field. How you are able to resonate with the environment that you're in, which is this planet, and the environment that has essentially your potential clients, and what you're putting out. Okay, so there are three components to that as far as like how to hold that more in your system. And the first one is premium self-worth mindset. This is something that allows you to unapologetically own your value, unapologetically hold that power of the gift that you're bringing through, so that your unique brilliance, something that only you have in the whole world, can come through and expand more and more, which actually expands your container, which then changes your energy resonance, which is then what attracts wealth to you. Okay. Another thing is to choose to work with a premium level client. If you wanting to expand your wealth and hold more wealth, that also means that you are elevating your refinement of how you work to a different level client. So let me say a little bit more about a premium client versus lower end client. And there's no judgment attached in any way. There's nothing wrong with the lower end clients, just describing the difference. Okay. Lower end client is a person who not only paying lower amount, and a premium client is a person who's paying higher amount. That's kind of more how most people think of it. But energetically, it's actually a different kind of a person. So somebody who behaves as a lower level client is a person who needs a lot of explanation, a lot of hand holding, sort of like babysitting, like they don't believe they can do it on their own. They need a lot of cheerleading and propping them up and helping them move along. And if this is something that you choose to do, that's fine. That's totally, if you know in your being that that's the level that you want to work with. But that is the level that will require, because of the lower fee, a lot of audience, a lot of clients in order to generate wealth. So by choosing to work at that level, you are minimizing essentially your wealth container. So on another hand, premium level client is a person with whom you can bring your entire expertise through. That's the person who generally is self-starting type. They already believe that they can do it, and they want more support, clarification. They want, somebody to hold them if they fall down and help them up. But they generally in their own being have already grown up to a level of being able to walk their own path. So whatever industry you're in, whatever type of healing or coaching or whatever you do, you can kind of tell, who are your lower end clients and who are your higher end clients. So those are the types of people. The types of people who are in that higher end frequency are the types that are not only willing, but they excited to pay higher fees because they know that it propels them further. The people who are at the lower level as a client, as a personality, they energetically are younger. Those are the people that will not be buying your higher ticket offers. So knowing that helps you internally modify, like, okay, when I'm setting my intention, I'm not focusing on the typical lower end client that, maybe you've had previously as your major type of client. But instead, you're modifying it within your consciousness onto what does it mean to have a premium client? What does a premium client feel like to me? What is a premium client way of thinking, and how would they behave when I give them this wisdom that, let's say, is part of your program? What would they do with it? How would they take it in? So playing with those things, all of those components, that is also the frequency of the wealth energetics that allows you to open up your container to hold wealth. So that when you are going into the world and saying something, let's say through your marketing posts, or if you're doing interviews, podcasts, whatever you're doing to show up in the world, you are now broadcasting that frequency. The frequency of, hey, I'm on a premium level and I'm broadcasting that premium frequency. So now other people who already have a contract with you, because that resonance is matching, they can come to you instead of you having to go after them. That's the biggest difference in utilizing wealth energetics versus the traditional marketing, when you just go after something in order to make it happen. In wealth energetics, you don't go after anything. You create a container and you resonate, and it comes to you. You become the magnet. You become the vortex that pulls into you what you are resonating. Okay, and the third component of it is to elevate you to the next level, to that premium level of leadership. Because when you are in a position of a leader within yourself, like you're not falling down with your emotional waves, but you're actually able to stay up and maintain that higher frequency of who you are. When you are being a leader of yourself, you are creating a point of reference. Something that now is also being broadcasted into the quantum field. And people who are potential clients, who are willing to pay for your higher end offers, are the types of people who are also building leadership within themselves. So they are looking for support, consciously or completely subconsciously or unconsciously, but intuitively they are guided and attracted to someone who is in a position of a leadership. Something that they internally feel like, hey, I've got this. And then they tune into that and they go, oh, she's got it. I want to have what she's having. And I want to be like that to some extent. I want some of that energy. And I feel like I can trust her, because if I have a moment of falling apart, she can catch me. She's strong enough to do so. That's the resonance of the wealth energetics with the premium clients. So if you are being a leader, if you're showing up with like, yeah, I know what I'm doing energetically and I hold this within my container, that attracts wealth to you, that attracts premium clients to you, so you can consistently sell out your premium offers. All right, so All of this and more in much more detail I will be covering in my Soul Aligned Wealth Challenge, which I'm going to be teaching in just a couple of weeks. So it's a free event, it's 5 days, and it will help you clean up your biggest business bottlenecks that you get stuck in, consciously, subconsciously, or materially, and move to the path of freedom, flow, and creating that 7-figure direction. Even if you're not actually getting to 7 figures yet, but you're past that 6-figure mark and you're recognizing that something is off and you're needing this, whatever the next step would be, and you're not quite sure what it is and how it looks like, you definitely need to be in my challenge. Because in that challenge, that's what we're going to be covering. And the key component is how to utilize all of this wealth energetics to help you, align your strategy and your marketing and everything with that type of flow to open up your container, but to do so without compromising your natural flow, your natural sort of ways of doing it, so that you're not twisting yourself into a pretzel, but instead you are actually doing it your way. All right, so there is a link in description of this video for my Soul Aligned Wealth Challenge. Definitely sign up. That link will allow you to be on the list that sends the emails about the upcoming videos. So that way you cannot forget. It will just be showing up in your inbox, and there is a Facebook group that you can participate in as well. So let me tell you just a little bit more about the challenge. It is an event where I'm going to bring energies into 3D. So first of all, it's not just mechanical. I will share with you tons of strategies and wealth energetics tools as to how to use things, how to make it happen, but I will also bring higher frequencies into the 3D, into here, so that you can experience some of that and actually learn what that feels like. These are the things that I generally only teach for my paid clients. So I'm sharing with you guys here this stuff because it is going to be really awesome. Okay, so we're going to, on a day 1, look at how to unlearn all the things you've learned to push yourself to get to 6 figures, so that you can have a different mindset going further. Like, what is it that you actually need to adjust? We will also talk about a 3-step process in order to know what to focus on. Most people focus on all the things, and none of the things are actually getting you anywhere. So I will show you what energetically is the key for you to focus on, and whatever that thing is, that's actually what's going to move the needle in your business. Also, we would look at how to be in flow, how to go at your own pace so that you are not getting stuck constantly in these emotional waves. Also, we would look at how to be that authority, that leader we were just talking about, that internal leadership, so that you are able to pull to you the type of wealth that you desire and move into the identity of a 7-figure business owner. Somebody who is not just doing something small, but a much bigger identity. Even if you're not materially there, but that identity is a different energy broadcast. So that's another thing we're going to cover. And the last thing would be my conscious future approach. So this is a method that I teach as to how to work with the quantum field to pull out from it whatever it is that you desire based on specific timelines, based on who you made contracts with and so on, and how to consistently sell your higher ticket offers, which is what we're looking at today. So I will go more in depth on that. So definitely sign up for my Soul Aligned Wealth Challenge. It will be in a couple of weeks, and the link is in the description of this video. It's absolutely free. It's 5 days, and it's going to be awesome. My love to you.